Senator.
May it please the court, Lord, and legal assessors. I'm Julie Zika. I appear on behalf of accused number 3. I'll also stand in for accused numbers 1, ending so that we can get on. In other words, from Advocate Mahao and Advocate Tuka. At least I received communication from Advocate Rata, who is held in traffic to the place called he's here fortunately. And my learned friend. Thank you.
May it please the court, the Lord, gentlemen assessor and lady assessor. I am Advocate T.E. Theode, standing in for Mr. M.W. Mukawana for watching brief. As the court pleases.
May it please the court, my lord, gentlemen assessors, Advocate Ezra for A1 and A2. What my appeal is what I was held up with some traffic and affiliates are. I'm sorry about that.
This is interpreted. May you please say in the witness.
All Miss Malot, that is not a problem. Na, that's a call fella. Mabito, couple of hands, person of responsibility. In the Pelaka get to my bit.
Na Commando Corporal Molise MolielengMahao, also to the Defense Force.
Sapanya Capella Hotla,
Sapanya Capella Hotla,
or get a good neti,
or get a good native,
neti fellas home,
native fellas who
memory man twos.
Memory man cruise.
Thank you, my lord. Corporal, good morning.
Good morning.
Yesterday, when the court adjourned, you were telling the court that you tried to get hold of, is it Lieutenant Letlisi, if I remember the name?
Yes, that is so my lord. I tried to do that.
Just before you proceed from there, Corporal Molise, you also told the court that you were then the bodyguard of Brigadier Mugalu.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
I just want you to inform the court whether you still are his bodyguard.
No, my lord, it's not like that anymore.
So you are no longer his bodyguard.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
In which unit are you currently serving in?
Special Forces.
I'm in the Special Forces unit, my lord, currently.
You're still in Special Forces. Corporal, you can continue from where you left off yesterday.
Thank you, my lord.
Lieutenant Letlisi,
After giving a call, after calling Lieutenant Letlisi at the time, yes, after calling Lieutenant Letlisi at that time, I could not find him on his phone.
Ka leka ya Captain Hashatsi.
I then tried to call Captain Hashatsi.
Le yena ya ba ha ke mo fumane phone.
Yes, but I also could not find him. I also could not find him on his phone, my lord. I was not successful in finding him on his phone either.
Yes, continue, Corporal.
Ya ba ke bolella setho sena se ke kopa se ka ba ka fana ka lebitso la hae.
I then told this member whose identity I would prefer, or I would ask the court to give me the permission not to mention his name, to reveal his name.
Re kena ka jareteng kilo ba sheba mo ba dulang teng.
That we should enter into the yard so that I can go look for them where they stay, at their residences.
Is that the yard to the Makwayane barracks?
Go jwalo motsombi.
Yes, my lord, that is the yard.
Yes, Corporal.
Re fetse ga kena ka jareteng ha re qeta go kena ga feta kantini.
Indeed, my lord, we proceeded to the yard and then we passed by the canteen.
Yes, sir.
Ha re qeta go feta kantini ho na le mo go ruweng dikgoho teng hona ka jareteng ka moo.
After passing the canteen, my lord, there's somewhere where there's a chicken coop.
Ka kopana le ditho tse tharo tsa special forces.
I then met 3 members of the Special Forces unit.
Yes, continue, Corporal.
E mong wa bona e ne le Commando Corporal Molise.
One of them was Commando Corporal Molise, my lord, that apostrophe Moleli.
E be ye mong ke Corporal Halahala.
The other one was Corporal.
Commando Corporal Halahala.
Yes. The other one was Commando Corporal Halahala, my lord. The other member.
E mong wa bawe e ne le la se tsa go polega ke ha kana go ba dine le Commando ke sa ke Corporal.
The other one, my lord, even though I cannot remember his rank, but he was Commando Corporal. I'm trying to remember his name, my lord, but I'm struggling.
Ke motho a itse ka nickname ke Motipi bitso la hae.
But I'm used to him by his nickname called Mutipi. Mutipi, my lord, the nickname Motipe. I'm used to him by his nickname.
And the first two are A5 and PW1 respectively.
Ilo bana ba big ban ki ba kuswa ba wa plan lwa big.
No. And PW1.
When PW linyo le pakia ya pe. Se ke mo ba sanga teng ka go tingela lo.
Yes, Corporal, and then you met those 3 members of the Special Forces.
Ke emisitse koloi pela bona ya ba sosi ena ya ka ire ha tshepe mong.
I stopped the car near the Malot, but this source of mine said he doesn't trust one of these 3 members.
empa ka mokgwa wa matshwafo ka gore ke basebetsi mmogo ba tshepagala.
But I assured him that these are our workers, our colleagues. Yes, these are our colleagues, and they're all trustworthy. That's what I assured him. That's how I assured him.
Ka nako eo ke ne ke butse festera hanyane ho ba ona itse ha hlo ke ho bona ana le nna.
At that time, a lot, I had opened the window, the car window, just slightly, because he said he could not be seen to be with me, or he didn't want to be seen with me.
Yes, Corporal.
Mme ke la ka kopa commando tsena tse se tharo go na le taba e serious ke kopa ba kena ka boleng go tlotla re bua.
I then requested or asked these 3 commandos, these colleagues of mine, these commandos of mine, that there's something very serious that needs to be discussed. So I request them to get into the vehicle so that we can talk.
Mme ba ile ba fela ba kena ka koloing ba kwa.
And they duly complied, got into the vehicle, and then closed the doors of the car.
Yes, Corporal.
Ke boele ke tlhalose gore batho bana ba ba ga go bana ke kopane le bona ke re ke lo sheba Lieutenant Tletlisi ke se a we go ba tseleng.
Let me also explain that I met these 3 people on my way to look for Captain Tletlisi. I was not even aware that they were already on the way. Lieutenant, yeah. Sorry about the ranks. Thank you. Yes.
So just before you go further, when you spoke to them, requesting that they get into the car, you want to talk with them about something serious, had you come out of the vehicle, or you were still inside the vehicle talking through the slightly open window as you requested them?
Ke ne ke butse festera hanyane mohlomphene ke sa tswela ka ntle go kolong.
No, my lord, I was not out of the vehicle. I had opened the window just slightly.
Ke mokgwa mo go la ba bobebe go bona ba tseba koloi ya ka. Lo tseba go ke sebetsa le bona.
That is why it was easy for them to identify me, because they know my vehicle, and they also know that me and them, we work together.
So they got inside your vehicle.
Go jalo mohlomphene.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Yes, Corporal, continue to that.
Jalo ka ha se ke hlalositse moraonyana gore motho a nampa information o na hlile a sa batlo bona ke na le batho.
I've already explained earlier, my lord, that the person who had given me the information was pretty scared and did not want to be seen with me.
Ibile ke hlalositse gore ne se le motshega wa mantsibuya.
And I've already explained that it was quite late in the afternoon.
Ditho tsena tsa special force tse tharo ne se le nako e di chaisang mosebetsing.
These 3 members of the special forces, my lord, it was, it was time for them to knock out. It was closer to their knock-off time, or it was actually their knock-off time. Yes.
Ba ne ba le tseleng e yang mahae.
They were already on the way to their homes.
hang ha ba keta o kena ka ga koloi ke la ka ba hlalosetsa hore hona le taba e critically e ke hlokang ba mamedise yona.
As soon as they got into the vehicle, my lord, I told them that there's a critical issue that I needed to discuss with them or to disclose to them. A critical issue that I needed to disclose to them.
Sensitive, I think.
Or sensitive. So you use the word critical, but it's fine. Yes, I'll use the word sensitive. No.
That I want them to hear with me.
Oh, I see. No, it's fine. Yes,
Something
thank you.
like that.
Thank you. Yes. There's a sensitive issue that I wanted them to hear with me. Yes, I think that's thank you.
Or to listen to with me.
Or to listen to together with me. I think maybe that's more correct. Thank you, Dere.
Ka ba ka ba hlalosetsa hore ke ne ke le tseleng e yang ho Lieutenant Hlehlisi ba ne ke sa mo fumane founung ya hae.
And I told them that I was actually on the way to Captain Hlehlisi, to Lieutenant Hlehlisi, because I was not able to find him on his phone.
Le ha se ke sa hopole na ha ga bona bana ba gago a la bua jele ka se ke hlalositse taba ya hore e sensitive. Ga tloe sebakeng seo se ne re lo sona ba ne le tseleng.
Even though I cannot remember who amongst the three of them said, since this issue that I said was sensitive to discuss or to hear with them, we must get away from that road. Even though I cannot remember who said that amongst the three of these colleagues of mine.
Yes. Did you then leave the place, the road where you were parked?
Go jwalo mohlompheng.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Go la ga tloa sebakeng seno ya banna ke kopa go bona hore ke kopa go lopa ka gona pela Brigadier Mokaloba gobane ke sebaka se safe.
Yes, we left the place and I advised that we should go park the car near Brigadier Mokaloba's place because it is a safe place. Because the place is safer.
Yes, continue, Papa.
Ebile ka ntle go mo le koloi ya ka hepa ke le mono e sentse ba tseba ka hore ke bodyguard ke e ka yona ha hona motho a tla maka.
Besides that, my lord, since I'm his bodyguard, if my car's parked there, nobody is going to be taken by surprise because it is well known that I am Brigadier Mokaloba's bodyguard. So it didn't raise any surprises or any eyebrows see my vehicle there.
Yes, Corporal, continue.
Go fihleng hwa rona setho seno se ba se tseba.
Upon our arrival there, my lord, this member that they knew or they know,
Se ile sa hlalosa ditaba jwale ka se nhlaloseditse jwale ka se ke thuloma hobane
disclose the news of the information or explain to them the news to them, as I already explained yesterday that, you know, as explained yesterday the way he did to me. He disclosed the information to them.
Yeah, I think it's important that you inform the court how he narrated the story to them now in their presence. Was it exactly as he had done to you, or were there changes? Can you just deal with that, Corporal?
ke a leboha mohlompi. O la tswela pele a go na le mmomori wa go bolaya Brigadier Mokaloba.
He continued to say that there was a conspiracy to kill Brigadier Mokaloba. Yes, there was a conspiracy to kill Brigadier Mokaloba.
Le Captain Hashatsi
And Captain Hashatsi
le the higher command
and the higher command of the army.
of the army.
Yeah, and the higher command of the army.
a tswela pele a ba bolella ka mokgwa ne ba polenne go tla etsa mosebetsi ona wa bona o sote ka teng.
He continued to explain how they had planned to carry out that ghastly deed, to carry out that ghastly plan. Sutu means ghastly, horrible. Yes, ghastly or horrible
Not
plan.
colors.
Oh yeah, semantics. Yes, thank you.
Corporal, did this person say how he came to know of that?
Go jwalo mohlompe o bane ne le karolo ya mmomoro.
Yes, my lord, because he was part of that conspiracy.
So he said he was part of that conspiracy.
Go jwalo mohlompe o itse ne le karolo ya mmomoro.
Yes, my lord, he said he was part of that conspiracy.
Yes, Corporal, continue.
A tswela pele o hlalosa gore nne ba lo etsa gaoletsi kapa ambushi tlasa sepetlele.
He continued and explained that they were going to do the ambush below the hospital, near the hospital.
To ambush who below the hospital?
Koloi ya mogana mokalo ha e chaisa ya brigadier mokalo ha e chaisa ba tla ba e tshwatlela gona mo ntlo sa sepetlele.
Yes, they were going to ambush Brigadier Mokalova's vehicle and they were going to break it there below the hospital when it passes. Or smash it and look about the truck. I think the proper word, my lord, is smash it because it says truck. Yes, you can smash it with the already truck. Or they were going to shoot it. Because I want to use the proper English phrase. Yes, but about it.
Ne ba lo etsa gaoletsi mono ba e thunya ka dithunya.
Yes, my lord. They were going to ambush the vehicle and shoot it with guns.
Yes, Corporal.
Ka nako eno ke ne ke tsamaya le brigadier mokalo ba ke le tso ke tlabe ke di karolo e mohlomong e lo thunyetse gona moo.
At that time, my lord, I was traveling. I would be traveling with Brigadier Mukalova, and I'm sure that if that happened, I was also going to be part of the victims from that attack.
A hlalosa go e ne le group tse pedi ha e sepetlele feila o na le nngwe.
Yeah, he said there were two groups. If that group at the hospital failed, there would be another group.
There will be another group where?
Group e nngwe e tlabe le motseng ha o sontse lo fitla go brigadier mokalo hona le mo nang le di papliri mono. Group e nngwe e tlabe e eme mono ka dithunya le yona.
Then the other group would be stationed near the village where the poplar trees. That group would be stationed there.
Lo ha ba ene o dimisa etsa mosebetsi e be ena e mona ke yona e tla e thunya koloi ene tsa manka bodyguard le brigadier.
So that if this group below the hospital failed, the other one are stationed here near the poplar trees, then would finish the job if the job was not successfully done.
Yes, Corporal, you're sitting. Just clarify this. Now, when he's telling the three members of the special forces and yourself, when he's telling you all this, had you driven near Brigadier Mukalova's residence? Were you there at that time when he's telling you this?
Go jwalo mohlomphei ne se re pakile hona la Brigadier Mokalo mo.
Yes, my lord, that is so. We had already parked the car near Brigadier Mokalo's place.
I remember you said he was out of the country then, Brigadier Mokalo. Was there anybody else in the house who saw that you were parked there with those people?
Ho jwalo mohlompi hona tsuya le kantle hona. Hae mono ho dula mofumahadi wa hae. Hono dula mofumahadi wa hae le bana ba hae ba babedi le mme a mo hlokomelang bana. Ene le batho ba ntse bang hantle.
Yes, my lord, he was out of the country, but there at his residence, he was staying there with his wife, together with his kids, and also the house servant who looked after his kids. All those people knew me quite well, very well.
Empa hanga ba ka hlokomela hore na ha ga bona ba le lapa leo na hona le motho a hlokometseng hobane hantle taba ka ene hlile go duma taba ene e re biletseng ka koloi le bona photwa.
Yes, but I was not aware if any of these people, Brigadier Mokalo's family and the house servant, if any of these people saw me, because my attention was solely focused on this issue that was going to be discussed in the vehicle. That is where my sole focus was on.
Yes, that's what I wanted to, to clarify. Well, perhaps you went into the house, somebody saw you, you greeted, and then you went back into the car, something like that. I understand that didn't happen. and then, Corporal, what happened after you were told this with the 3 other members of the special forces?
Jole ka hela ampakela letswalo. Le bona ke la ka bona e ba ferekanya.
This disclosure of this information, my lord, caused me a lot of panic. I saw them too that they were shocked or they were confused.
Ka morao ho mono re la ka dumellana ka maikutlo re le ke tla re le bane ka ntle ho sosine ya rona.
After that, we all agreed, excluding this source of mine, we all agreed, or we all came to the agreement.
Yes, Corporal.
Hore taba ena e lo reporta le ka le sentse ke le tseleng ya ho le reporta you kopana le bona tseleng.
That this matter had to be reported since I was already on the way to report it.
Yes, did you agree on to whom the report must be made?
Ho jwalo mohlompheki kopa e tle ke hlalose.
Yes, my lord, that is so. And please allow me to explain.
Go ahead, Corporal.
Banna bana ba iso ba ga go ba di commando. Ba ne ba tsebile hore hle Lieutenant Hlesi ha fumane le.
Yes, those 3 commando colleagues of mine knew that Lieutenant Hlesi was not available. He was available. They knew that too.
Yes, just by the way, Corporal, before you proceed, what was the position of Lieutenant Hlesi at the time?
Lieutenant Hlesi o nanta sebetsa ka special forces o na le ka hona ka di barracksing ka moo.
At that time, my lord, he was part of the special forces, my lord, and he also lived in the barracks as well.
Ebe haya Lieutenant Hlesi hloleya jwale ka hore le captain ha tla tsuna tsa dula hona ka ga di barracks ya ba re ya ho yena mmellano ya ho yena.
Since Lieutenant Hlesi's mobile was not available, but as Captain Hashas was also staying there in the barracks. We proceeded to him. We proceeded to Captain Hashatsi.
Yes, who was senior between the two? I can't recall which is senior between captain and lieutenant. I forgot him.
ke a leboha mohlomphehi. Senior ga ke Captain Hashatsi ke mokgwa ke la ka qala ke letseditse Lieutenant pele ha ke sa mo fumane ka be ke letsetsa Captain.
Yes, the senior is Captain Malot. That's why when I started with the phone call, I started with Lieutenant first, and then when I could not find him, then I called the captain.
Yes, did you find Captain Hashatsi?
Ka nako e ne ntse ke le dipampiri mo le pela sepetlele ne ke sa mo fumana founong.
When I was still at the Poplar, just Malot near the hospital, I could not find him on his phone.
Ba ke hopola ha re tloa pela Brigadier Mokalo. Le founu ha ne ntse re sa e fumane ga ya ntlong ho yena straight.
If I recall well, Malot, when we left Brigadier Mokalo's place, his phone was still unavailable. So that is why we proceeded straight to his residence or to his house.
Sorry, what was your question?
My question, Lady Assessor,
Simply, did you find Captain Hashatsi?
yes.
Thank you.
So did you find him at the house after failing to find him on the phone?
Ho jwalo mohlomphehi re mo fumane ntlong.
Yes, Malot, we found him at his house.
Empa pele ha ntse re le tseleng e yang ho Captain Hashatsi. Ho no so batla ho so le lefifi.
But when we were still on the way to Captain Hashas's home or house, it was already getting dark a lot.
Yes, Corporal, was the informant still in your company at that time?
Ho jwalo mohlomphehi.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Yes, continue, Corporal.
Jwale ka se ke hlalositse ka lefifi lena ya ba. Source ena ya rona o kopa yena ka nnete a lokolohe e tlile o tshaba hore a ka bona le rona.
Yes, my lord, this source of ours requested for us to be separated, or us to separate from us, because he was scared for him to be seen with us.
Hobane batho bana ba leng mo mona le ona ba ka mmolaya.
Because these people with whom he was in this conspiracy with, they will kill him.
Yes, Corporal.
Kala ga dumellana le ditho tsa eso re a lokolohe mme ga mosia mo le pela dipampiri tse ntse ke go no le lefifinyana go tsona.
We agreed, my lord, that he should be he should leave us, he should be separated from us, and then we left him at those popular trees that I talked about.
Yes, Corporal.
Ha re qeta ho mosia re ile ntlong straight ho Captain Hashatsi ra mo fumana.
After leaving him at the poplar trees, we proceeded straight to Captain Hashat's home, and we found him.
Ho fitleng ha rona o la go tsana ga batla mosibu tjena re sa mo letsetsa.
Upon our arrival, my lord, he asked us what is it that we wanted at his place at that time of the evening, especially when we hadn't even called him.
Hodimo ga le bana motho a na le ka hodimo go rona a go kametse mono o la hlalosa gore re ntse go letsetsa phone ya hao ha e fumaneng.
A master for us, my lord, the most senior, told him that we have been trying to call you on your phone, but we could not reach you on your phone, but we've been trying to call you.
A boela
Sorry, Corporal. And who was the most senior in your company?
The most senior you won't get a labua in the
la se ke sa hopolo gona dipakeng tsa motipi le ka itse ke mo hopola ka nickname le Corporal Molise na ene le senior ke mang ka nako eno.
Even though I cannot remember as to who between Mutipe, whom I said I want to remember him by his nickname, and Moledi, I cannot remember as to who was senior between the two.
But it was one of them, either of those.
Go jwalo Mthompheng.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Yes, Corporal, continue.
Ebe re boetse ga hlalosa gore taba re tleng ka yona e sensitive ile e tatile go kopa go dile fatshe re bue ka yona.
We then explained that the matter that had brought us to him was very sensitive, and then we needed to sit down to discuss it, or for him to hear it.
Yes, Corporal, before you explained to him the issue that you had come with, was Captain Ashatz in the company of anyone, perhaps a bodyguard or family members, as you got there at his residence?
Kana for you, then lift Captain Hashatz will mobile of the big link and who unanali malapil mfana mkumana le bodyguard ya haika panali utmola ping halifi kipoto shwa
Re fumana le mong fela ba hlene le motho a ituelang a le mong.
He was alone. It is home a lot because he lived alone.
Thank you, Corporal. Continue. And then you told him what you had been told.
Go jwalo Mthompheng.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Re kene ka tung ga mo fa ditaba tsena tsohle kaofela re ntse re thusana le bomphato wa ka bene ke na le bona ha go utlwa taba tse.
We got into the house, my lord, and then we relate to him this information, helping one another with these colleagues of mine, that was with, who had this news together, with this information together.
Yeah, my lord, my friend Mr. Mafai says under the question to be excused, he will be back shortly, my lord. Continue, Corporal.
Ka morago ha qeta ho bua ditaba tsena o la gona se a go fonwa hae e timme.
After hearing this news, my lord, he said he was not aware that his phone was off or his battery was dead. It could be the battery company off. Oh, he just said his phone was off. He was not aware that his phone was off.
Ka morago mono le yena o tlameha le tsitse ba ka hodimo ho yena a ba tsebise taba tsena.
Afterwards, he said he too had to call those superior than him and then inform him.
He said he
Oh,
must
he said,
call.
he said he was going to call those superior to him and then inform him of this news that he just heard.
mme ka nako eno ana etsa kholola go kopa gore re ke re mo tshwarela go tswela ka ntle hanyana a tse go bua le beng ba gae.
And at that time, when he was making the call, he asked us to excuse ourselves to go outside so that he could make the call to his superiors.
Yes, Corporal. So you went outside, I want to believe.
Go bjalo mohlomphedi.
Yes, my
Re
lord.
la ga o pele mo o la nka tšhatšhaga keng ya fono tšhatšheng ya ba gona go tswela ka ntle.
But before them a lot, he took a charger and plugged it into his phone, and then we went outside. Or out of the house. Yes, we went out of the house.
Yes, continue, Corporal.
Ka moga metsotso kapo e ne le mehlano ka moga metsotso e ka ba mehlano o la boela re ditsetsa ka tlung ha.
After about, say, 5 minutes, he called us back into the house.
Yes, Corporal.
A ba go sa buile le beng ba hae mme go na le batho ba sentse ba tla la sa ka go jwetsa mabitso a bona empa o sa buile le beng ba hae empa go na le batho ba sentse ba tla ba tlotla ba sebetsa taba ena le.
He told us that he had spoken to his superiors, even though he did not mention the names. But he said there were people that were already coming to his house to come and deal, with this matter with them. But he didn't disclose the names of the superiors who were coming.
Come. Ka moga metsotso e seng mengata haholo go la fihla ha ba ke gopola hantle ka nako eno ne le kapo ene le mmeje kapo ene le Kennel empa go la fihla mogana Lekgowa le mogana Setšhele.
After a very short period of time, just few minutes, they arrived, even though I cannot remember the rank, whether it was Major or Colonel. They arrived, is it Major Lekgowa? Major Lekgowa, and that is still in the lane.
Ha ba ke gopola ntle ke ene le captain ka nako eno.
And also, if I recall well, his rank, Captain Setšhele.
Yes, Corporal, continue.
Okay, mohlompe ke kopa ke khutela morao hanyane maobane ke khutele tabeng tsa morao hanyane maobane.
Please allow me to go back a little more to the testimony I gave yesterday.
Ke hopola mo la tsona ka 2015 commander ga ene le mang so ka o ene se le taba ya nako e telelenya ka nako eno ene le ndate motsho ene se ndate ka mojole ka ne ke tlhalositse.
Yes, I recall the questions relating to who was the commander in the year 2015, but since this matters took place long time ago, I think now my recollection is clearer now. The commander then was Commander Mutsu, or was General Mutsu.
Yes, Corporal. So, Captain Setšhele and Colonel or Major Lekgowa, and then what happened?
Ya ba captain ha tla tsuela go kopa gore o sa bua le beng ba hae re boele go tswela ka ntle gape.
Captain Khashatsi Malot, like earlier, asked us to step outside for a few minutes because he was going to discuss the matter with the superiors, and he asked us to get up, leave the house again.
Mme re fetse ga tswela ka ntle ga dula ka koloing.
And indeed, my lord, we duly complied and we went to sit in the car.
ka nako eno ehlile ke a gola ne se di lata bo ma 10 kapa 11 ha ba di hopola hantle.
If my memory serves me well, my lord, at that time I think it was around 10 p.m. or 11 p.m.
Yes, Corporal.
Ba dutse ka mo ba kene meeting o no wa bona o nkile ke a gola ntho e fetang 30 minutes.
That meeting took for a time of, if I recall well, possibly around 30 minutes. That meeting.
Yes, Corporal.
Empa ka mogana go ba le ga meeting ba boetse ba re bitsa hape go so go tla ge hlakisa taba tse captain ha tsa ya di buile na itle ke tsona.
But after some time, my lord, when the meeting was still proceeding, we were called back inside the house to come and clarify some of the things that they said Captain Hashatz had told them.
Yes, Corporal.
Maybe a logwa o na bonala a sa dumele go ehlile go na le taba e jwang.
Major Leroy appeared, I would say, he appeared like he was not really moved by what he was hearing. He didn't believe the story.
I was not convinced.
He was not convinced. Yes, thank you. He wasn't convinced. He didn't appear convinced.
Yes, Corporal.
Mme o la kgothaletsa gore motho eo kapa setho se sa sole se faneng ka information eo ke lo bua le sona gore se mpe setle.
He recommended that informant, that member of the army, that army who had given us that information, he must be called to come. That's what he recommended, or he encouraged, or he suggested.
Mme ho la ba ho bobebe ba ho no so le lefifi ebile o sena motho a ka ga bona ga na le.
Yes, that was my lord, because it was already dark and it was not possible for anyone to see us with him.
Ke la ka fela ka molata ka tla le ena a tla kena kopanong.
I duly went to fetch him, and he came to be part of that meeting.
Did he reside within the Makonyan barracks, the informant?
Go jwalo motlhompe o dula ka hona ka di barracks tsa sore ka mo.
Yes, my lord, that is so. He also lives in the barracks.
So you went to get him and you went to the meeting with him?
Go jwalo motlhompe ke la ka ya ka khutla le ena ka molata ka koloi ka khutla le ena a kena ka tu.
Yes, my lord, I went to fetch him using my vehicle, and then he came, and then we got into the house.
Yes, Corporal, and then what happened?
A fitla a hlalosa tsona taba tse di hlalositseng.
He came to explain or narrate exactly what we had also narrated as well.
Ditaba tseno tsa bokakapolope ba bona.
Well,
Taba tseno tsa mommogi wa bona.
thank you. Yeah, use better words. Yes. Yes, he came to narrate that conspiracy.
Yes, Corporal. You don't have to repeat what we know. We know what he had said to you initially. So, yes, and then what happened?
Ke a leboha motlhompe. Ka mora nako e telele go ntse bua taba tseno ya ba ka nnete ga ya lokollwa ka go fela gona ditho tsena tse 4 tsa special forces le ena so se ena ya go.
After a very long period of time, my lord, we were released. Me and this special forces colleagues of mine, together with the informant.
Ya ba ga sia Major Leroy le Captain Hashatz le Captain Sichile.
And we left Major Leroy and Captain Hashatz and Captain Sichile.
Ga ya mahae.
We went to our respective homes.
jwale ka ne ke hlalositse ne ke le bodyguard ya ba mongaka hayo ha ke mosebetsing ka la hosane taba tsa ka di fella hona mo.
Yes, I've already explained a lot. That was the bodyguard, and my boss, the person to whom I was giving bodyguard services to, was not in the country. I did not report for work the following day, and this is the end of my story.
Yes, when did he come back to the Galova? And then you were able to go back to work? Do you remember when that was?
La ha se batla le kgalenyana ka 2015 ba ke motho a na tsamaya hangata ka mosebetsi. Ha ke sa ka bona go ka mogabedi ka bobeki tse pedi. Empa ha ke sa gopola hantle motlhompedi.
Since Brigadier Mokaloba was a person who traveled quite frequently, I cannot remember exactly how long it took for him to come back, but I think it must have been around maybe about 2 weeks, if my memory still serves me well.
I just want you to tell the party whether at some point or at any point, whether you had occasion to speak to him about this that had happened, whether you told him what happened in his absence. As his bodyguard.
Ho jwalo mohlomphei ke la ka moamela hore ke la ka fumana tipofo ya taba tseno tsa mmomori wa hore gane go tla ga bolawa ha mmo le yena ba ne ke le bodyguard ya hae.
Yes, my lord, I did tell him that I received a tip-off about the conspiracy, that me and him as a bodyguard were both going to be killed.
Are you able to say what his reaction was? If you are not able to say so, that's okay, Corporal.
Ona maketsi a mpotsa hore na motho o na le shoka nne ba le shoka story sa bona ha ile mo a ketella a tlile mo.
He was quite shocked, and he asked me if those people were really sure about their story when they ended up coming here. I don't know if I'm getting it correctly.
Yeah, something to that effect, I think.
Yes.
Just lastly, Corporal, there is evidence that subsequently there was an operation to suppress mutiny, and teams were set up. Did you take part in any of those?
Jwale ka ke se ke hlalositse hore ke ne ke le bodyguard, ke tle mosebetsi wa ka ne le bodyguard fela.
My lord, it was already explained. I was a bodyguard. My job was strictly to offer bodyguard services and nothing else.
So you didn't take any part in the operation.
Ho jwalo mohlomphedi ka bokgutshwanyana ha nka ba ka ba teaming efe kapa efe ya operation e la etsa.
Yes, my lord, that is so. In short, my lord, I was never part of any team that took part in any operation.
My lord, thank you. I think that's his testimony in chief, my lord.
Thank you, my lord. suspect there's some issue from my learned friend.
I am mindful of the fact that this issue was dealt with yesterday after the first defense witness testified. I am of the view, my lord, that I would be failing in my duty if I do not ask the permission of the court. I request only 15 minutes. I need to bring an authority, my lord, to the attention of the court, to the proposition that immediately after the witness has finished testifying, the order should be that it is the prosecution that cross-examines first, and the defense counsel, if there is a need for them to cross-examine, they should in fact come after the prosecution. And that procedure, my lord, is actually clearly outlined in the South African Criminal Procedure Act, which to a large extent is written in a more or less similar language, the relevant section, as that of Lesotho. I have not had the opportunity to make a comparative jurisprudential comparison with regard to the position regarding other Southern states. And to that extent, my lord, I only seek that indulgence so that as and when the proceedings unfold, it is not an issue that the defense counsel will not assist in the court. And I'm also, my lord, inclined to hear what position the Crown holds in that regard. In the event that the Crown holds a contrary view, I humbly request that His Lordship may adjourn to chambers briefly after we have addressed him and make a ruling on that issue. It is of pivotal importance. Lastly, my lord, it is because the rationale behind the issue that I'm raising, it is an issue that is going to happen, that when the prosecution cross-examines any witness called by any of the many defense counsel, the rules are such that they are not confined just to what they could ask. For example, there are certain questions which were put to Captain Nyakani relating to accused number 9. Of course, all those questions were aimed at proving the issue of obstruction of justice. But as at the time that Captain Nyakani testified, as at the time that I had to ask him questions, there is no way that I could actually preempt that there would be anything of that nature. And it is the reason why defense counsel is allowed to cross-examine after the prosecution. And I would want to put that authority to the attention of the court.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, I think there's no need for the court to adjourn and for my learned colleague to bring any authority. The issue is the water under the bridge. The court has decided how the proceedings should be conducted. I specifically requested the direction of how we should proceed. And my learned colleague was present in court. He made certain submissions, and the court directed otherwise. Not unless my learned colleague is suggesting or is saying for a moment, he's reopening the issue. Well, I submit that the issue cannot be reopened. The court has made a direction on this subject. And if my learned colleague is unsatisfied, he knows the procedure. And having said that, my lord, I humbly request that the proceedings should proceed.
I think there's an office of the court I have here now that my learned friend makes that submission. See, if the court makes interlocutory rulings, and I can bring you an authority about if you give us sufficient time within a few minutes. If a court makes interlocutory rulings during the continuation of the proceedings, it is equally entitled to change such rulings. They are interlocutory after all, and it has happened many times that a court may say, well, this piece of evidence is not admissible, But later on, when it reflects, then it says, well, this evidence is missing, or and so on and so forth. And such a ruling, such as this, concerning the order of the court is equally entitled to say, well, I have seen the authority, I changed my interlocutory ruling, but I am prepared to bring an authority to that effect to say a court is entitled during the proceedings to make interlocutory rulings, and is equally entitled to review itself, if I may put it that way, my lord, and change such a ruling. And that will be my submission. Otherwise, my learned friend can go ahead with his submission.
Briefly, my lord, I'm not necessarily saying we should revisit yesterday's evidence the way it was received. I don't have a problem with that. I'm talking about what I see as their livelihood for the future. For example, I can do one simple thing. Make sure that for all witnesses that my learned friends call, because we are placed, because as the facts as they have unfolded, in a different type of a situation, I keep quiet. And then the prosecution then cross-examines all those witnesses. And then after cross-examining all those witnesses, I rise and then say, my lord, let me place it on record. The prosecution has cross-examined. I know the ruling has been done before, and I wish to record that I am willing to cross-examine this witness in the light of the debate with the prosecution. And then the court says, well, that issue is not under the bridge. I'll be comfortable. When time comes for my accused number 9 to come and testify, I'll then come and say, look, defense witness number so and so said the following. What do you say? If that is how my learned friends would want it to unfold, at least I have placed it on record that it is an irregularity, but I am willing to commit it because in the end it is going to be favorable to my client.
Yes. I think I explained the procedure on the first day. I think it was really similar to who raised the question whether the Crown shouldn't cross-examine first. And I explained that the opportunity is not cross-examination. It is an opportunity to put your case to that witness, just to confirm your case with the witness. Cross-examination comes after. Cross-examination by co-accused only comes after cross-examination by counsel has been done. But because all counsel took the opportunity and then went to turn sort of cross-examination, and I think it was Mr. Mfaiza said, no, look, I've already cross-examined. And there was then no need for me to then go back and ask counsel to cross-examine again. The proper procedure is just like when you are in the Crown case,
Yes,
right? Counsel for the Crown lists their witness, right? Then there's cross-examination by defense counsel, and then there's re-examination so that the Crown has an opportunity to adjust its evidence on a single witness twice, first in chief and then under the examination. So the principle is where an accused gives evidence and he is jointly charged with the other co-accused, they must be allowed the chance to give all of them their evidence through that first accused, right? Then they are cross-examined, and then they are all allowed to re-examine their witness who is in the box.
well, my lord, unfortunately, that authority says something to the contrary. That is the reason why I was making indulgence of the court to bring it forth. It says, in fact, that should not be the procedure. The way it should be such that they cross-examine. Immediately when they are done with cross-examination, the co-defense counsel will elect whether they cross-examine the same witness or not.
It's the same thing. It's an election.
As the court places.
Yes. It's an election, and I don't see the difference.
Well,
but as you say, if you want to cross-examine a witness after the Crown has already cross-examined, there is nothing wrong with that.
There's the court.
What it means is that as soon as the witness is finished, like this witness is done, then the Crown cross-examines, and then co-counsel then cross-examines.
That is my lord.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then at the end of that, his counsel will then re-examine,
Yes, the court.
so that the co-counsel has no opportunity to re-examine. That's the same thing.
Yes, the court.
Yes. So we'll adopt that attitude. To me, it's one and the same thing. Probably it might even save more time.
Yes, the court.
Yes, Mr. Corporal.
My lord, I humbly request that we adjourn and see his lordship in chambers, because according to me, now the court is reversing from the initial position. Can we see his lordship in chambers, my lord? I humbly so request. We can take this opportunity to take that 11 o'clock break.
No, my lord, but the court has made a ruling for that. I've made the ruling, and I am entitled to regulate proceedings. And as long as there is no prejudice suffered by the other side, the court is strictly entitled to regulate its proceedings. And that is what I've just done.
The court blesses. My lord, may I allow my learned colleague? He wants to say something.
Yeah.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, the initial ruling of this court, when it was actually raised by my learned colleague, Advocate Stewart, for the court to give direction, the court directed that after the first witness of the and now, my lord, that's why I have a problem, because you have just mentioned before court. You have just mentioned that the procedure is that there is cross-examination and re-examination, and the proceedings are closed. As far as the crowd is concerned, there will be a cross-examination of the counsel when we lead, and then they will come and re-examine. But it doesn't apply on the defense, because now they are giving an opportunity for them to cross-examine after I have cross-examined, which is not proper, because after I have cross-examined, there should be re-exam, not another cross-examination. And I have an authority to that effect, my lord. And I also have an authority to the effect that even if we go by them cross-examining, they cannot cross-examine before prosecution. They have to cross-examine, and I have to be the last person to cross-examine. Otherwise, it will be prejudicial to our case, my lord. It will be prejudicial to the case of the prosecution. If they can be allowed.
Maybe I misunderstand you. If I get you correctly, you are saying that you should have the last say when a witness is on the stand.
Yes, my lord.
No, that it doesn't work like that. The person or the party calling the witness is the party that is the last say. It is the party that is the last say on that witness.
Yes, to re-examine. You will have the last say, but as far as re-examination is concerned, not cross-examination. So I'm saying, my lord, my submission is that as far as they have the last bite, their last bite will be in respect of re-examination. Not that they should have the last bite regarding cross-examination. No, I have an authority to that effect, that they cannot cross-examine after I have cross-examined. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. We have it, my lord. Even though it's on a soft copy, and maybe we can be allowed to print it, to print the copy and then submit the copies to the court. Just a short adjournment, my lord. I request so that we print the relevant case for the court.
Can we take our previous time so that we can resource this topic?
As the court.